Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday to you. Listen to this passage from Walter Brueggemann. We baptized people are the ones who have signed on for the Jesus story of abundance. We are the ones who have decided that this story is true story. And the four great words he took, he blessed, he broke, he gave constitute the true story of our lives. As a result, we recognize that scarcity is a lie, a story repeated endlessly in order to justify injustice in the community. We have in our baptism declared the old story of scarcity to be false, and we have become the people and the place in the city where abundance is practiced. We notice that we have more than we need. We notice that we do not keep so much for ourselves. We notice that as we share, more is given. We notice that every time we commit to the truth of abundance, new energy, new joy, and new well-being surge among us. Commodity thinking says that you share with your neighbor stuff that you can afford. Covenantal thinking says that you share first with your neighbor, and then you and your neighbor live on what you've got together. Jesus has come that we may have an abundant life. His feeding narratives attest to the generosity of God, and that this generosity is assured wherever Jesus rules the earth. And we count on that generosity. And that means that our common practices of greed, of the pursuit of consumer goods, of the frantic effort to acquire more, are both inappropriate and unnecessary. Our society hungers always for more body surgery, more cosmetics, more cars, more beer, more sex, more certitude, more security, more money, more power, more oil. This hunger for more is a true sign that we do not trust the goodness of God to supply all of our needs. We do not trust that the generous rule of Jesus, who has ascended to power, is in effect. But we are Jesus' people. And therefore, we are pledged and empowered to act differently in the neighborhood, differently in the economy, and as citizens of the last superpower, differently in the world. I hope that as we're all dealing with news of a full shutdown in this state, and as you are considering what you're going to do and what's in your power to do, I hope that you remember who you are. I hope that you remember where your help comes from. I hope you remember why Jesus came, to give us abundant life, to give us the fullness. You know, I believe Brueggemann's right here on a fundamental level. Who would have an interest in us getting so afraid and so worried about consumer goods and services that we'll go out and start to fight over it? Who would have an interest in us being so afraid and so fearful and so paranoid of one another that we would ravage and destroy one another out of self-preservation? You know, Jesus and the family of God and heaven, when I think about all those things, I think about abundance. I think about there being more than enough. And I want my home. I want my life. I want my kids. I desire for us to live that way. And I believe that the gospel affords us to live differently than the rest of the world. So I just want to give you that today, as today and tomorrow we sort of prepare to sort of hunker down even more. Anyway.